Hey guys, and welcome to the all-new, all-different rebirthcast, the podcast where I talk about new comics that come out every week. This week we have lots to talk about, a lot of DC stuff, and then two indie books. Nothing Marvel related came out this week. I picked up. Not sure if Cage came out this week, so I put it in the next week video because I feel like this is enough stuff to do for a video on itself. And it's a decent amount of stuff, so let's jump into it. Starting with indie, we have Jughead number 12 came out, the next issue. It didn't come out last month. It's by Ryan Norris. It's really good. I really like the artist. Let's open up and see what's going on in this particular issue of Jughead. The Jughead is them playing just a game, playing like a video game. Obviously, you play video games are fun, and to playing like some kind of a car racing game where they can change stuff and do all kinds of stuff. It looks actually kind of fun. And Jughead, you can tell he modded it and did stuff to it. Like, he knows his games. Jughead knows that one thing he knows. And Reggie is using bombs and stuff and beating the crap out of everybody. But then Jughead turns into a giant dinosaur. And it's like, oh, that's my trump card. I'm turning into a dinosaur. And it tries to be Reggie, but then Jughead loses and Reggie wins. He gets first place and he takes Jughead's little crown thing he has and basically becomes like king. And they're carrying him around in a chair. Like, yeah, he's the king, and all this stuff. And then Veronica's got the fun idea to, hey, I'll call in a bunch of muscle men to come do that, and we are off the hook. And then it says, Jughead posting something of his, posting a picture of him without his permission. And it's talking about that. I think that appears more in the next issue about that. Posting pictures, you shouldn't post a picture of somebody unless you ask them first. And for the most part, I would say that's. For the most part, I would say yes. That's the kind of thing. But we're not going to get into that kind of stuff. We want to get into the actual comics, the important stuff. Not saying that's not important, but the actual comic, because that's not much in this issue, and I think it's going to talk about more in the next issue. Basically, them talking to playing another game. And then it's like for a month. That was like for a week. Now it's going to be for a month. And he loses. Then the next one will be for another couple months. And then it's like, okay. And he find out what does he want. And then he's like, well, I want you. And he's like, well, what do you want? They're like, what do you want? It's like, for this time, it's like, I want to form a band called we call it the Reggies. And then we call it the Archies. And we're saying leave over. They can, like Archie's saying, we'll call it the Archies, and Grace like, we're gonna call it the Reggies. It's a kind of fun thing. And I like this comic. That's where it ends. And the next issue has some photo gallery kind of thing for Riverdale, talking about some stuff for Riverdale, the new show. Next issue, the Reggies. It's weird that it's not in the Reggie book because it's a story. A thing about Reggie, kind of could be in the Reggie book, but it's kind of it's a Reggie / Jughead story. I actually like it. It's really cool. And it's showing them how they start the band thing. And it might start out as the Reggie, but then eventually turn to the Archies. I don't know. But it's cool. I enjoyed it. But it's very short, but it wasn't too bad. It's a good book. Hope check it out. But we're not done with the Archie comic. Yes, my friends. Another comic came out. Reggie and Me came out. Second issue. Really nice cover. The cover I got. And yeah, this is another book I was surprised. Hey, how did you do a book about Reggie? I would like to see how that goes, because that's not the one I would normally think of. I guess that makes sense when it comes to you already did one where you have one with Archie, Jughead, you have one pretty one like a Judge in podcast. Other than me, I guess that's the next logical step. But it's a cool book. It's talking about how he wants to, say Maggie, and how he wants to. And that's how he has his dog, and talking about Moose, how he's like the big, Hulk kind of creature and stuff. And it says him, it talks about a time when he was a little kid, and he was with Betty and Veronica, and them fishing, and then he storms off or something. And then it says Reggie who throws a stick at Archie, and goes right under his heel, so he trips and falls back into the principal, and the dog comes to get the thing, and he trips and hits the teacher again, and then he's getting into trouble, and what should we call it? Betty's like, I saw what you did there. That's not nice, kind of thing. And a lot, you get these little one single like says, clueless, absolutely clueless with like those of the dog, what the dog thing, because the dog actually has a voice and he's like narrating stuff. It's like it's kind of weird. It's called Reggie and Me, and you're thinking about it's called. Would it make perfect sense? Actually, didn't think about it till like now. Book called Reggie and Me, so it's like Reggie and his dog. So I guess that would be considered me. There's them talking. They're gonna talk later at the pop shop. They go back to them fishing at a different time, and they accidentally knocks him in. Accidentally, he did accidentally. So don't you? I would go out on them. He did with the way he's acting and everything. He did accidentally. He didn't mean to. Bay jumps in to go save him, and he needs help. He calls Reggie to come and help. So Reggie just jumps in there, helps him, takes him back home, and everything. You think it's fine. Then Betty goes off on a tangent and tells him like, "Hey, you pushed him in. He fell because you bumped into him. You do it on purpose." And it wasn't his fault. It was an accident. Archie's not the only klutz in place. No, for the record, Archie, yes, is a klutz. But if somebody bumped me, and I was that close to the edge, I'd probably fall too. I don't know if I would die, but yeah. So I think that's kind of Betty's. You're kind of shooting your horn there. It wasn't his fault. It was an accident. So don't blame him. That's the one thing I'm like, it's not his fault. If that's how it really happened. Then he goes home and he has a note that says, food's in the fridge. And that's basically about it. I don't know if the food was in the fridge or he's just making a sandwich. Or that was in the fridge. Because I feel like that doesn't seem much of like food. And you see him crying. Cause you feel kind of sad for him, but then he sees him going into Pops, and obviously Jughead's there. And you know, they let the dog into, I guess, Pops' diner. I guess he's okay with that. And it's weird that Pops looks completely different with every like artist and every each one of the characters. She does not look the same. It's like, why can't they keep a consistent kind of look? I mean, he feels different in every book, but it could be just the way the artist draws them. But it feels like in every different series, he seems different. And sometimes he acts different too, compared to what you saw in other books. So it's like, I don't get what you're doing. You need to keep stuff like that in check. But then him and Moose talking, and it's like, what's he say? If Meggie, my girlfriend, vouches for you, then I vouch for you. I'll protect you. I'm for friends. It's like, my friend. That's not what I was expecting. But hey, he's like, hey, I'll walk. And it's like, how do I get rid of both? How do I get rid of both of them? Archie and Moose. And it's like, let's go to the dog gets the sign which says 0 violence tolerated. I'm like, okay. And like I said, I think when I talked to issue 1, he had a boxing glove, one of the boxing gloves that come out like the lock and hit somebody. If that did not count as violence, I don't know what it is, unless it was a very soft one, but still would have definitely, you could have counted that as violence. So that's pretty cool. And then it has, that's where the book ends. It's kind of ends on, like, they feel like these stories feel more like, I feel like what I call single issue stories. Like, they do have a walking story arcs, but they feel like they all kind of like their own thing for the Reggie book. The Reggie book, each one feels like its own story so far. Or it could combine up into one story. I'm not sure. Just I feel like they could be their own thing, or they could be a bigger story involved. We'll have to wait and see. The book I'm excited to read this next issue to see how this awesome book takes place. Because it's actually a really awesome book. It's written by I'm pretty sure it's Tom DeFranco. It's really cool. Then I had an old comic called Archie by Wars Reggie, the Jokester. It's a really, really old Archie comic, and these are the ones I really don't care for. I don't think these are funny, really. They're not that. I mean, it's not for me. Definitely something not for me. And then it says a cover singing for Reggie and me. Then say when it's the next issue, and then shows some of the other books. So yeah, great book. Now we're gonna move on to Justice League vs. Suicide Squad number 2, and we're gonna see what happens in this book. Now the cover shows Michael Lord and his team, where you don't see much of, or if at all, in this book. So it says, starting off with the Suicide Squad, you will beat the Justice League, or blow those bombs in your head, or try to escape. I don't know why they didn't try to escape, but it's funny enough, Sync will logistically League. Now, so is Ice, Cliff Hearts fighting, the Cyborg. It's just showing you, like, everybody's battle. Like, Aquaman fighting Killer Croc, Batman fighting Deadshot. It's really hard because they're just bantering and back and forth, and I think it's really cool. And everybody's like fighting, and everything's cool. And we go to the Swiss Alps, where Mechalon and his Goonies are, and he has like the main and like. And the one I favorite, this is I always like to, if there's a line I really like, I usually sometimes like to say. I like how Lobo's like, "You damn Skippy, you cried down the main man, you're dead." I never know how to say this, but bitch. Bat. I feel like it's a kind of censored way to maybe say bitch, like it's a way to say bitch without saying bitch. You know what I mean? The dead bitch. I like him. So I was like using the way he talks sounds like him, like using main man. I'm the main man. Definitely think of Lobo, the main man. So that's cool. And I see them talking to him, saying more about what the plan is. And then we go back to them and sees True Moon fighting Superman. And she's like, "June Moon, I know you're in there, you can fight back." He's like, "Yeah, I can." And he's like, "Screw you." Then he immediately turns back and like beats him, and obviously he knows magic is his weakness. Good. It'd be cool to use the suicide. This book is really cool. And then we see so Superman gets knocked kind of out a little. And then we get Killer Frost basically knock out Cyborg. Give him a little knockout on the Cyborg front. And then we have the two Green Lanterns going facing off against El Diablo. I know can create giant fire dragons, kind of like the same as the Green Lantern, but that's kind of cool. And they're kind of beating him. And you have Flash fighting Captain Boomerang. With Flash, you should be able to beat Captain Boomerang like 1-2 Skippy. But I like how they banter against each other. Really fun. And we see Aquaman fighting Killer Croc on the water. He sends a shot after him. And Killer Croc just takes the shot and like basically destroys it in half, and then like cuts it in half, starts eating it. And he takes a bite out of Aquaman, and obviously Aquaman bleeds. Like Aquaman, you see those blood, but it's actually teeth kind of break. He's kidding. It's rock hard. It's like not that rock hard. It's weird because you're saying like, oh, it's rock hard, but he's actually bleeding, so it's not completely rock. I wouldn't say completely rock. Aquaman gives him a big punch, and it probably knocks him out. We see Batman continue fighting Deadshot. Is awesomeness, and you see Batman. He shoots him, but Batman punches him, like knocked him out. Then we have Wonder Woman and Harley Quinn doing a thing, and then mentions some stuff about them being friends. He beats him. It's like, hey, wait, there's Justice League winning. So how is this Justice League win? They capture him. What's gonna happen next? And we see everybody's kind of like captured. El Diablo, Deadshot, Harley Quinn. We have Killer Croc and Frost. Kind of there, Captain Boomerang. Everything's like going down. Hello, Jim Moon beats Superman, and then he tells Killer Frost to take Superman's life essence. And basically about kills him. And basically about kills the guy. So now we know Killer Frost can now beat Superman. So that's another thing. He took the life essence out of him, and everybody else like kind of, I think, froze everybody else. Everybody else, or all of them, I don't know. Batman's not go. Batman locked up in the cage. I'm sorry, I'm a little tired. That's why we're on there. Batman's locked up in the thing. Everybody's talking about Batman's locked up so he can't use his hands. You left him his feet. That's more than enough. Superman can get out of those two. I don't get what Flash. I can kind of see Wonder Woman, Cyborg. It doesn't look like it's interesting, but it's weird because Wonder Woman. The thing is, I have to say with Batman, I feel like should be able to get out because he's Batman. He'd be like, I'm Batman. He's like, he can still use his feet. It looks like he can still move around well, so I guess he could do something. He could use his hand and move stuff. I don't know. But then we have Superman who's with the everybody's crap, and I think the Green Lantern. I don't know why the things on their heads. I don't know how that negotiates the powers, but whatever. And they're kind of welcome to the Suicide Squad. So Amanda Waller basically had the Justice League. Making them a part of the Suicide Squad. I want to know, do they put bombs in their heads? Because I feel like even if they did, like with, I would say Flash. First of all, I know it'd be really hard to do it with Superman. The rest of them, you could do it easy. And just noticing I was looking at the page. We see everybody's cyborg. Everybody's for. I'm assuming this one right here is Aquaman because we don't see Aquaman. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And it was that's the Suicide Squad Chapter 2 next Justice League Ability. This is really cool to see them kind of like as a Suicide Squad. I really do enjoy this book. It's been a freaking. It's only the second issue, but it's damn good. Like, this is gonna be a series I definitely eventually want to get all 6 issues of because it is one of the best books, crossover event books in a while. So happy that book's out. It's so good. Now we jumping into Suicide Squad number 9. We have about 3 more books after that, so I'm gonna try to get through these a little bit more. Not too quickly, but just go through them a little more. Seems like I'm not taking that long to go through these. Take a little more time, but let's try to get through them I'm a little tired. We have Suicide Squad issue 9. It was a Justice League / Suicide Squad prelude, to my knowledge. So the one's about Amanda Waller, the old Suicide Squad, and Amanda Waller sending them on a mission. And that's kind of basically what it is. And all of them, eventually make it out of this mission. Heck with this guy. No, I'm just tired today. I don't know why. But we have this guy who is a guy who's like a living bomb. He's kind of like a living bomb or something. So he can just blow up himself. They don't really need to. And kind of blows everybody else with them. Like a nuke or something. So he thinks. And they go on this mission to fight. Because this place is like it's being run over by a dictatorship. And they're fighting these guys. These bad guys. And the funny is, every time they kill one of these guys, every time they beat one of these guys or kills them, people start dying. Like, people were dying. They have to where they're connected to. If these guys die, people actually die. And I think that's actually kind of cool. That's actually a unique thing. Like, but since everybody on this team is like villains and stuff, and they're not like the new Suicide Squad, like the one with Deadshot on them, because they would have a little more, I think. Some of them would have a little more care and stuff for that, but this is the team that doesn't give a shit. Most of them all, except for maybe Rasputin. I say Rasputin. Restum? How do you want to say his name? And stuff, so it's just they're killing all these guys. And people are just dying. He goes to this guy, and they just flicks him like this. And basically kills him. It's like he just killed him with a flick. That was funny. And then we see something. The villains all turn except for like I think Lobo and Rasputin. Don't turn. The only two that don't turn on this big thing. Clear was like, I'll do my own thing, and the rest of them are like. And then she pays him to kill the one guy who's like a nuke or whatever. Kills him. And they all go up and blow up and die. So everything ends, and nobody knows who it was. But frankly, they all actually survive that. Every single last one of them. And then they're all locked up and put away. What's weird, because I feel like Lobo and all of them it's the one who, like, he's the only one really you can't really lock up or have control over, because it's like, you're paying him. Other than that, you don't have control over him, and that's not much control. A guy who can kill him, put a bomb in his head. He'll just throw the freaking thing back, so it's not that big a deal. But they all got captured, destroyed. The whole thing got destroyed, a bunch of people died. And that's what it ends. It's basically a story featuring the original Suicide Squad. I really enjoyed this for what it was. It's basically just a bonus story. A prelude. It's one of the ones that's like, this happened way before then, but it's cool to see a story. And this fits more in the Suicide Squad books. I'm glad they told it in this. So, pretty enjoyed that. I know in the Justice League one, this is a Maxwell Lord comic, so that's cool. Now we're moving on to All-Star Batman issue 6. The 6th issue of All-Star Batman. A comic that I was really excited when I started getting this book. I've been really enjoying it. I decided to put this on my list of comics I'm getting because I want to have at least one Batman book on my list of comics I'm getting. This book is already a $4.99 book. This is already a $5 book to DC. I heard you pricing up some of your books. Don't do it with this one. This book's already priced more than enough for me. This could have been a $4 book, but $5 is pretty on par with this one. But it comes about Batman, and he's going into the Arctic. He's like in an Arctic zone, like the Antarctica or something. So you fight, obviously. We gotta do with Antarctica, Freeze stuff. It's obviously Mr. Freeze. So he goes in and finds Mr. Freeze's minions. He starts fighting them, and Then they start attacking his suit. He got Mr. Freeze, and this is called The End of the Earth, Part 1. It's a 2-part story arc. And they see him attack Batman, take his suit off. Basically got him to where he's like, can't do anything. And basically it tells like the whole scheme of what he's planning and everything, and the whole thing was more. Because he's still alive in this, and everything was going on. And it was more like a storybook, so it's hard to be like a little bit to be like, okay. And I like how that one, it's all done in, all the text is done in like little boxes, the kind of little like description boxes, or just it's just there. Like there's no box around, there's nothing around, it's just in the comic. So I like that. So it feels more like a story. You see Batman breaks out, and he's all badass, and he's escaping, and he fights him, and then he locks him in this thing where the whole place blows up, and him and Mr. Freeze locked him in this place, and the place blows up, and that probably means maybe no one dies and everything else, but that was cool. It says next, the virus unleashed, and that's it for Batman Beyond. Also, Batman. That was a good. It was good. It's not as good as the last run, certainly, but still, as a Batman story goes, it's pretty damn good. And it hasn't ended the story arc yet. Continues to the next issue, so we'll see what happens in the next issue, and see if that. Once the story arc ends as a whole, the story arc might be better as a whole than just a 3-in-1 issue. But we're not done yet. We have another story featuring Batman in the Course Wheel Part 5. Yes, that's still continuing, actually, because they didn't have it in issue 4. They had it in issue 4, but I thought it kind of ended there, especially with the way it kind of felt like that would have ended. And then in issue 5, there wasn't one, so I thought it ended. Now we got another one in issue 6, which was then trying to solve a riddle puzzle, Batman and Duke. It was really fun. I really like this. It's showing him trying to find the puzzle, and I think the puzzle and how it's done is really unique. And to see an old school kind of like Riddler puzzle, I actually really like this. So it's them, and then Duke, Beck, and Arkham when they meet a Riddler trying to get some information on him. And this other guy who was a villain from the end of the Scott Snyder run, the big flower guy with the flower thing on his head. Then Batman gets the wrong one, and then he tries to go down there to Duke tries to get on to save somebody. And it's like it's wrong. It's like, no, Duke don't. And then the whole thing blows up, and Duke might be dead. Or at least the guy who was holding the question is dead. But the rest of them, at least one died. At least not all of them died, I think. If that one died doesn't mean they all died. But the Duke is probably going to be fine, just hurt. He seems like he's doing stuff like a little jumping into things. Just feels like he's jumping into things. That's the problem I have with him. Sometimes he's okay with it, sometimes he's not. But this is one of the times I'm like, yeah, you should have waited. That's what you should have done. But really good. So that was cool. Now we got 2 more books to go. Next, Child the Changing Go. Issue 4 came out, and I don't know why I'm clapping my hands every time I'm talking about a book. They're like, oh my god, this is so cool. This is so kawaii, or some shit like that. I don't know. I'm just like a girl, like a really girly thing. Like, oh my god, that is so cute. Or doing it like with everything, like Shad the Changing Girl. I don't know why I'm doing that. It's just gonna be probably for this video. But we have Shad the Changing Girl issue 4. Continuing the epicness of this book. If you don't know, I've been enjoying the hell out of this book. It's been fun. Now, this book is one of the more harder ones to explain, so if you don't understand it, makes perfect sense. I would read it myself. I would go and read it myself. I wouldn't start with this issue. You gotta start with number 1 for this series. It's not what you can just jump into as of yet, and I don't know if you'll ever be able to do that with this series or any of these young animals. Kid Carson you might be able to, but the rest of these, let's see what's going on. And I kind of forgot what's going on. And yeah, this is Child the Changing Girl, chapter 4. It shows her talking to her parents and stuff. And yeah, it's kind of fun. And yeah, and it shows some stuff from her past and stuff, which I was kind of, I guess, kind of cool, I guess it's kind of cool. And then there's some stuff on Meta, where he has the, what you would call it, thing, is trying to get him out. And if one person knows about it, and the guy, who I guess I would maybe consider a bad guy, I'm not sure yet, he's kind of walking and knows about Meta. And then shows her just eating a sandwich and talking to a friend, a friend next door, and talking to his parents, and the doctors and everything. And then we got her going into, like, I guess the Meta. And then got back to Meta, which is the guy who had the girl who got trapped in the thing, and now it's in this girl, her, him, and this other person who I think is a girl. And then doctor comes in, like, I knew what you all along, and just shoots him and like zaps him and like, holy shit! I'm excited to see what happens with that. Because then he finds out. So it's like, I thought it was weird. Like, once he finds out, how is this gonna play, or how is it gonna be a elongated series if that happens? I actually really like to know. Is it gonna be like a mini series where it's like, I don't know, but seeing then just shows her watching TV. And also on the TV there, it looks like a Mr. I'm not gonna say it, but it looks kind of like a Mr. Trump. And I like how Stevie sees. Like when she sees stuff, some of it comes out really weird. Like she sees him and it has like, yeah, like it looks like his eyes. He looks like a pumpkin, like with the big like black eyes and like the triangle nose stuff. It's kind of funny. If that's Trump, I don't know. It's like it might not be, but if that's kind of a thing about Trump, I actually think that's kind of funny. And that's her being nice to all her friends and everything. And that's kind of where the book goes. And then one guy, friend who used to date him, comes in and they like lay down and like I guess laying down in bed together. And then like something happens. It's like next issue, caught cage cumbered. I don't know what that means, but yeah, pretty cool. But we're not done yet. We have the real life featuring the elemental girl. It's just elemental girl, and she has a family and stuff. It's like, oh, she has a family. That's cool. They're not seem to be talking, but yeah, it seems fine. Everything seems fine. She's making breakfast, and then one of them falls into the food, and you're like, the way she falls, you can look at it, it's like, oh, it's just, okay, this is getting weird. And the other family members all fall into it. And all the other family members just fall into it. And he's like, no, damn it. And see, like, she created all that. All those people and everything, that room we saw, like the house, the perfect life. She created it. I'm like, that's kind of sad. He wants his family in this house. Well, she had a family in place and it got destroyed. Or something she always wants, but she can't have. It was really cool. It's only 3 pages. I thought it was cool. I like how they're pulling bonus stories in the end. I like the one featuring the elemental woman. We haven't seen much in DC, so that's pretty cool. I'm excited for it. It's really cool. So that's cool. Really been enjoying that book, so I really highly recommend it. And then the next book, The Cream of the Crop, the book that I was so excited for when I heard it came out, and I found out it was coming out this week. I was like, this is the one book and I'm going to be getting if I die. This is the one book I have to get out of everything. This is the one book I'm getting. I don't care about everything else. This is the book I'm getting. Justice League and the motherfucking Power Rangers. I'm just saying that because this is just so... Sorry for cussing, but this is one of the books that needs to be set on a higher standard of this is shit that you think of in your dreams. You dream of write fan fiction online about, and you never saw it, and the day finally comes when it happens, you're like, holy fucking shit, this is exactly a real thing that I'm reading. Same thing with like Dark Knight, Green Lantern, or Teenage Mutant Turtles, or what's the other one? Star Trek and Planet of the Apes. That one seems a little more plausible, but still, it's like, this is the shit that we never saw would happen. It's like Marvel teaming up with DC. Shit we never saw would happen. It's happening. So we're gonna crack this bad boy up, because I've been so excited. This is by DC and Boom Studio. I think DC is putting these out, because they have all the ads and stuff are DC related. So, stuff for like all their stuff. So it seems like it's more made by like a DC kind of standard. We open up with Angel Grove and it looks okay. Open up with page, everything like before. Angel Grove has cool. And then the next page, boom! It is completely destroyed. I would say all of Angel Grove is destroyed, and yeah, it says the Ranger's like no. Now this, I don't know if this is following. Is this part of the DC universe or the DC universe or the Power Rangers universe? If it's following any of the comics, or if it's just like its own little thing. So these are both own in the universe. But I would like to be cool to. I would like to have this canon in the Power Rangers universe at least, so they can say they meant the. That's the. You don't have to do it the other way around, but that'd be cool if these were like canon somehow. It's just like Zach, like this is all my fault. So when it comes down, like, no, it's not your fault, son. Son, it's not your fault. It's a very like, it's not your fault, son. Like he has a very like, like, you know what I mean, kind of way he talks, and I like that. It's like, it's not your fault, son. You kind of we're using the word son there, like not using the word Zach. Wait, okay, you have to use Zach, so whatever. And that's like a prelude, I guess, for something that's maybe gonna happen later. But with Disney humans, you have time travel and all kinds of shit. So really, they could fix it. And like once do give them a do. I mean, it's really not that hard to fix. In the DC and stuff like that. I was thinking it's quite. Oh, it was not the droid. It was sent to a pocket dimension. I don't know. I'm just making up shit now. But let's get on to the actual comic. And now we got to Zach finally meets up with the Power Rangers to go and find Alpha 5 because he is missing. So they check all the areas near her. Jack finds him and takes him back to the command base, and Jordan's like, well, there's a, and he's like, wait, that's not what I was thinking. He's like, teleport, and Jordan's like, teleport him away, and he's like, what? You have to, and then the thing just sinks to stuff melting because like it has like a goo look to it, and then it just blows up, and just destroying shit. And then you see Zed and the putties. He planned a scheme, and he's here, and he looks actually really cool in this one for some reason. I don't know why. Him and the putties look actually pretty cool, and Zach does what he does and moves into the Black Ranger and is awesome. And then starts fighting putties and is getting kind of outnumbered because there's a lot of putties there. And he tries to beat Zed and then he teleports them all the way. And when he teleports, again, malfunctions a little. Him, Zed, and some putties, a putty or two, get Zed and two putties to get Zach get teleported away somewhere else. And then they all come back to the command center, find out because of the below and stuff, they all changed. We have the red, pink, blue, yellow, and green Rangers. So still doing the Green Ranger story arc, just not, so we don't have the White Ranger yet. They could fit really along the lines with the comic, the Power Ranger comic, because that's what they're doing now. So it kind of works. That's just them finding the rest of the putties and finding the Alpha head, the bad one. So we still know that Alpha's still missing. I mean, really, if it's technically he is a robot, but you know what I mean. We could film another one, but then so Zach fighting putties, and then Batman's like, put the act down. Now it's like, oh yeah, you're fighting some other guys who look like monsters, and you're gonna complain like they're getting into a fight, like, oh, these guys fighting. And why does he look like a bad guy? And then they have a talk, and he like hits the putty, and it's like, and he's like, you're one of those monsters, aren't you? I'm like, he's freaking Batman. How are you one of those monsters? How is that? You look at a guy like this and think, oh yeah, the guy who looks human looks like a dead monster. This guy looks human. It's like if Superman came down, it's like, would you have said dead monster or something? But yeah, then they get into a fight, and it's pretty awesome to see Zach fighting the what's it called, Batman. That's like the Power Rangers. What's the Power Rangers fighting? Batman is so freaking cool. This is one of the books that still, I'm gonna say it. They see all the Rangers pop in to help, and they kind of outnumber Batman. He's not doing too good because they are a team and they work together and stuff in Batman. But then obviously Justice League, somebody comes in, the Flash, and takes all the weapons, and he takes them all, and shit goes down. He tells Flash to move away, shoots a little thing from his Batmobile, so the thing blows up, and then Pink Ranger calls in her pterodactyl bird, and then some sensor uses it, and it's like, and then Flash like, Watchtower, like, what? We're gonna need all the Justice League here. You won't believe this. Batman's been taken by a flying pink dinosaur robot. It's weird, like the saying, like, yeah, that's the insert thing in your universe where you have people like all kinds of other weird things like Mr. Moxley Plex and all kinds of other stuff, and Pocket Dimensions and all kinds of other stuff. Is Pocket Dimension, what's that from? Is that from, it might be from the Marvel universe, and I'm thinking of DC, but you have like different universes, like you have all kinds of planets, beings, creatures. You have Ahmed Bug, for instance, and you're going to complain about this logic makes sense and all the other shit you have. It's weird that they're like, this is the weirdest thing that we've seen. Like, okay, unless you're just starting, that shouldn't be the weirdest thing you've seen. But just like that Power Rangers, so what do I think about it? Out of all the comics this week, that's the one I think if you can only get one, get Power Rangers. But just, you know, if you don't like Justice League or Power Rangers, then I wouldn't get it. But if you like either one, I would definitely give it a read. Definitely more. If you like Power Rangers, 100% get it. If you like Justice League, I would say, yeah, you could get it. See if you like it. It's just in my opinion because I like the crossover. So if you don't like the idea of the crossover or you only like one or the other, you like Power Rangers, I would say you could, if you just like Power Rangers, you could get it, and because it has more of them in the first issue to give you like an idea. The other comics were good too, like Sergeant Changing Girl, Auto Batman, Suicide Squad, Justice League, Suicide Squad 2, Reggie Me, and Jughead. All the books were good, but obviously if I had to pick a favorite, it's just the Power Rangers, and it might be that way until the series ends. If it's 6 issues, it'll be 6 issues, but I'm excited to see what happens next. It's my Power Ranger versus the Justice League. So much to say, my money's on, I don't know. I was the Justice League. They fought, like, Power Rangers really, if you think about it, they have, is there some strengths, like, they have strengths, like, enhanced strength, like, somebody like Batman who's, got somebody like Wonder Woman who's kind of tough, or Superman, like, they're just really tough. They're not like Superman tough or Wonder Woman tough, probably, but they're stronger. You know, the fight. And then what else? What else? They have the weapons. They have the Zords, what can now teleport to this other dimension off the blink of an eye. So, like, and even if they do get the Zord and form into a giant robot, like, they found giant. These guys have found giant robots before. It's like a superhero motif, finding giant robots. Holy man, all this shit. So it's like it would be the first time. But that's it for this episode of the all new, all different rebirthcast. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I had a lot of fun talking about comic books I like. So yeah, you can always stay epic, and I'll see you in the next podcast, guys. Bye. Bye.